Actually, I think it's one right in front. Yeah.
Jump, baby, jump!
I gave me the American flag and you the green one. So we know the difference.
Awesome.
Thanks to Matt and Lee, who left a comment requesting a boat tour.
Today in this video, we'd like to give you a tour of our practice boat named Cloud Chaser. We got her for cheap and we've learned why. We paid for her twice now. She was really neglected and it was like peeling back a layer of onions, all kinds of issues.
Fuel water separator, fuel tank, alternator, batteries, just
water muffler.
Water muffler.
Yeah, we had airlocks, fuel leaks.
Even though we're a sailboat, you gotta have an engine to get in and out of the marina.
Yeah.
And then you need that engine to get you going sometimes where you need to go. So having a reliable engine is a key piece of having a good boat.
Here we are at Cloud Chaser. When we're getting ready to put stuff on the boat, we like to take the line here and cinch it so we're close to help us get on board. And I know you see most boats do aft end in, but we like the bow in, even though it's harder to get on the boat with our finger pier, because that way when we're in the cockpit, it's just a prettier view than looking at the dock. We're looking at the water and the other boats. And then one thing we added that's really handy since we do go bow in is we added these extra clips so that we can easily move the lines and get onto Cloud Chaser. Because she's a POS and this is our third year and we finally have a reliably starting engine. We've done the tow of shame, Dennis, how many times?
Oh, I don't know, at least twice every season.
We weren't able to capture it on video, but we have wasps going into cooler vents. So if you could leave comments below on how to handle that. Dennis sprayed some bug spray in there and a bunch of them flew out. Yeah, like 6, gross. We are just struggling with all our issues in our boat, our practice boat.
In the head, there's a corner and they make their little mud nests. I found one there one time. It was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It was like taking a bag and it was like.
Okay, this is our cockpit of Cloud Chaser. Again, she's a 1984 Catalina. She did not have a bimini, so we bought a stock bimini. And my Sailrite sewing machine, I added a window here so we can look up at our masthead fly and look at our sail trim up high. We also have one of those magma grills, and people call our bimini a cathedral bimini. It's really high, but the beauty is I can actually get up here and stand and work at the grill when it's raining, and that's so convenient. One of the things I added, because the sun is so intense here, is I sewed on some fabric. We'll even put them down like on one side when we're under sail, just to keep us out of the sun. I think rather than doing these clips, said get a snap tool and put a snap like right here and have it come around. Because the clips sometimes seem to slip out even though they're supposed to be locking. There's our dinghy engine. It's just a 6 horsepower engine. We don't really have a cover, so we use a sailback. And then if you see this really thick rope right here, because we bring our cats aboard, we dangle that in the water so they have a way to get back into the boat if they should fall overboard, which thankfully has never happened. So we installed these speakers. And we installed this autopilot. One of the things that's so great about our marina is a 4-minute walk to West Marine, which when you have a POS boat is incredibly handy. And then there's Do It Best hardware store, not far away. And if we're feeling lazy, off in the distance there, you can see there's a bar. They serve food, placed all the running lines. They were so rotten, corroded, and stiff that it was really hard to pull them in. We also replaced the roller furling. That was actually quite expensive. Here is the aft berth. It's actually quite spacious. There is another cushion that goes where all the stuff goes, but since we usually use that for storage, we usually just keep this cushion in here. Here's our very messy nav table.
So because we bring our cats on board, we obviously have to have a place where they can have their litter box. And when we got the boat, it did have the original alcohol stove in it, but we've heard a lot of bad press about the alcohol stoves, that they're prone to catching fire. And So we had that removed and weren't even quite sure what condition it was in. In addition to removing the stove, there's a fuel line that went to the aft lazarette where the fuel storage was for the stove, so we had that removed as well. Cat's litter box, and then we have our little propane stove, which we put out in the cockpit when we cook, and it works out great. But you can see space is obviously limited in the galley, so we've come up with a couple other makeshift efforts. First and foremost, I think every boat, this is a standard piece of equipment, having a little hammock to put whatever in, whether it's food or stuff. The other thing we found, which has been awesome, is this little towel rack right here. So you can just clip it on and hang things and dry a little bit faster, because as you can see, there's not much room up on the handrails and it gets awfully crowded and cramped real quick. So then also sink space, galley space is very limited. So what we ended up having is we found a nice little dish rack, which we modified a little bit so that it would fit, and that works out great in terms of being able to just do some dishes and letting them air dry, so we have more space. And then it's a little bit cluttered right now, but you can see where we've got other things, the key things, stashed and stored. Since it's an older boat, the original styles had ice boxes, ice chests, no refrigeration on it. And basically what this is just an insulated box. It has a drain right there that goes straight to the bilge, and of course the water from there goes out. It gets hot here in Virginia, so the efficiency of our cooler icebox isn't the best. So I just took some of that Reflectix material, secured it, taped it on the inside. It's helped tremendously, and it's helped because most of our trips are just weekend trips. It used to be we'd come out and the ice wouldn't last very long, and it lasts us the entire weekend, and we have enough left over for happy hour ice drinks, and then keeping our food from spoiling. When we got the boat, obviously it has the little curtain rails, but we didn't have any curtains on the boat. Keep the sun out, keep the heat out more importantly. So we came up with a makeshift plan, and we took that Reflectix material, basically made a little duct tape tab, and then cut them all to the shape of the windows, and then if we need to, remove it when we get under sail so we have light coming in. And we've done that all along the port and starboard side. They've held up pretty good now for the last 3 years. That was one of the first year projects that we did. And with all the work that Ann did on the cushions, it also helps maintain the fabric longer and prevents that sun damage.
Is the V-berth, and you can see snaps all around, and we did that so when we have our cats on board we can snap this netting up there, no seam netting, and it is fantastic because it keeps all the bugs out since we don't have built-in screens, and it keeps our cats in. So we put this stuff underneath. I'll post where you can find this, but that helps keep ventilation under the mattress, prevent molding.
Just as Ann explained in the V-berth hatch that we have the mesh covering in order to keep the cats in, she also made one for up in here. It has the same effect. Helps keep the cats in the boat, especially when we're at the marina. The other nice thing too is that when this is up and secured, it also helps keep bugs out. Sometimes too, what we'll do is we'll take of the 3 hatch boards, we'll take the very top one and set that in there, and that will hold this one into place so it doesn't sag as much, but it also keeps it taut. If we don't want to have the hatch board in and we just want to have some airflow, we'll just get a clip and secure it that way. We'll usually put a clip here and there.
So we want to do a shout out to Randy and Dee. They bought us this Virgie with a cat on it, which I thought was kind of cool. These are very raggedy life vests. And then this came with the boat, but we think it fits us really well because we're lushy. What's the best way to survive working on a boat?
You gotta stay hydrated.
Woo!
Really hydrated.
Here is the companionway where you enter to come down below. And here is a hatch. And below that board is what's called the bilge. Little water, that actually is not a leak, that comes from our ice box. One of our subscribers asked exactly where that water leak was coming from. We also have another board right here in the main area of our salon. And we always have this nasty water here because the float switch doesn't get all of it out.
So funny story, when we very first weekend that we bought the boat, we had all these great wonderful plans as to what we wanted to do with our brand new boat. But what we forgot is that the boat gets a vote, and we had gotten all our supplies, did all our provisioning, came out to the boat, and then the very first night the bilge pump died on us. So instead of going out for a nice sail and anchoring away, our very first weekend on the boat was spent fixing the bilge pump, which timing must have been just on our side, because had we not realized that and had we not fixed it that weekend, we could have had a brand new boat that was, 5 foot underneath the water after having owned it for maybe a week.
Hi, my name's Anne. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Introduce yourself. What?
Well, it was just a pause, and then all of a sudden you're like, hi.
Because we're trying to get everything on video.
Killing him.
Click the